Good morning, everybody. I had to start that with the little, ditty because I started at 8:01, so I'm obviously late and gay.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. It is Wednesday morning, 8:01, October 11th, 2023. I have no idea what the weather is outside, and honestly, I don't care. I'm stuck inside. I'm sitting here just thinking, why didn't I sleep more? It wasn't that I didn't want to sleep, it's that I was awake, but not for bad reasons this time. While I'm gathering my thoughts and trying to tamp down on my stupid smile, let me say hi to chat. In case you didn't notice, because I totally screwed up the intro, this is Shelly, your mouthy mama of talking trash and truths, and you have reached us at Coffee and Chaos with T3. That's me. I brought the coffee. I am the chaos. So let's go. Topping off, we have Daisy Girl, who was here 45 minutes early drinking her coffee. Girl, I love you so much. Rabbit, also here early, ready to get going, throwing out those disclaimers. Her instructions, everything. Good morning, ladies. Rabbit urges you to remember to change from top chat to live chat so that you see all the spicy comments. And trust me, even though I have at the moment, 62% male viewership, which is weird, isn't it? Things get spicy. Hit the like, strike the subscribe, and ring the bell. Change to all for notifications and share. I recommend if you want to catch impromptu lives, definitely change it to all notifications, because as everybody in my chat knows, I could go live anytime. I could go live at 4 a.m. I could go live at 4 p.m. I could do a 12-hour live stream. I could do a 36-hour live stream. You never know. It depends on what I have to say. It depends on who joins me. It depends on if I'm just in my feelings and need to talk. It depends on if you guys are in your feelings. Today, I wanted to talk about self-regulation, and I think you'll find it interesting. I also want to touch back on Monday's topic, which was panic attacks, because I figured out why I had them. And isn't that nice? But as we go on, Lady Awesome. Hello, sweetie. Good day to you. I hope you woke with a smile on your face and quiet children. Isn't that a nice little double blessing? T-Rex, good. No morning. It's good day. Good day, good day, good day. To you and you and you. I know I'm goofy today. I slept 2 hours, maybe. Spicy. Caitlin, she said, oh, thank goodness I was falling asleep driving. Hello, lovelies. Well, have no fear. I am full of just, I don't know what today. Well, I know what I'd rather be full of, but I know what I'm not full of. Let's just go with energy. I'm full of energy. How about that? Miami Spice. She said, did someone say spicy? Honey, it's always spicy when it comes to you. Always. Daisy Girl. She said hi to everybody. She just keeps drinking that coffee. You know what's funny? You have a turquoise drinking cup, and I have this mint green one that's slowly chipping away. It's this giant metal cup that they gave me at my job when I worked with the kindergarten kids when Grogu first hit the scene. And we didn't know he was Grogu. We thought he was Baby Yoda. That's what we called him. And somebody actually made this for me with their Cricut machine. I don't know, the thing that cuts the vinyl. I was like, oh, you should get one. Yeah, because I need more things to have as a hobby because I'm just not near busy enough. People don't get. I have my fingers in all sorts of pies. That's my my life's ambition. All the pies. All the pies are mine. But yeah, it says joy. So it's a Christmas mug. But the vinyl is very quickly just peeling off everywhere. So everywhere I go, there's like little mint green flecks. And I'm like, damn it. Because I really don't want to remove it. I like this mug. But it's like now it just looks ratchet. it's because I told my daughter, don't put it in the dishwasher. Who listens to mom though? Mom knows nothing. So we have Miami Spice and good morning, Jelly. Top of the morning to ya. But hope you have a good day. I know you keep very busy. We have Rabbit saying, Caitlin, please drive safely. Yes, safe travels to you, Caitlin, my birthday sister. Hopefully our attitudes will be twinning today because I'm in a really good mood. And I don't think anybody could fuck with my mood today. I'm sure they're going to try, but I don't think it's going to happen. Caitlin said he's still Baby Yoda. Yes, he is. Do you know how many times I slip and call him Baby Yoga? And I don't know why. It's like, okay. I still want Valhalla to do yoga with goats. I think he would that would be a gold mine. And if he's not going to do it, once I move, I'm getting some goats and we're going to do hot yoga with goats. Hell, maybe we'll do naked yoga, but not with goats. I have different plans for naked yoga. But that's neither here nor there. And yes, got spicy within the first 7 minutes. Good for me. Monday, I was woken up by panic attacks that sent my brain fluttering off into the atmosphere, had me all kinds in my feelings all day long. And I was just generally in a bitchy mood. It was so bad. And it had been building. And I knew that the anxiety was, building up. But I didn't understand where it was coming from. I was like, okay, I'm off all my meds. So now this is me. My system is completely clear of all that crap. I don't have any pain meds in me. I have nothing. And so I was like, okay, Shell, do you remember you? Like, because that's a genuine concern for somebody who's been on psych meds for like 3 to 4 years. And you don't remember what you were like. I do things and I'm like, is this normal? Is this what I would normally do? Am I crazy? Like, do I feel crazy? That kind of shit will drive you crazy. So I was like, all right, I don't think that's it, but we'll, stick a pin in that and see. So I was making lists like I do. And I was like, all right, so things that give me anxiety right now. Finances. I am trying desperately to hold on and wait for the money that's due me so that I can get the hell out of this city. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be inside these walls. I want to be outside. I want to be where there's no people. Please. Like, I'm not ready for that, but I want to be outside. I want to see birds. I want to chase away bugs. I want to be scared by a raccoon in the middle of the night. I want to hear life around me. In this apartment, it's so rare that I hear anything outside of it. Like sirens. They're never good things that I hear. And I want to go outside. I want to hear everything that's alive, just being alive. I'm alive. It took me a while to feel that way. It really did. Just because I survived, what was happening to me in the hospital, just because I was able to beat the infections that were trying to kill me, that didn't mean I remembered how to live, because I'd given up on living. Jesus, so long before. And, you know, some listening might not know the situation. Some will. I'm not really going to get into it. I'm just going to say I got sick and it felt like I was completely crippled. Like my entire life was over. I lived in the dark. And there were people who liked keeping me there because it suited their purposes. I got to be a scapegoat. And it's like, okay, I got crazier and crazier, meaner and meaner, because when you cage up a wild animal, that's what happens. Lady Awesome said, no raccoons. They have people hands and they're born with a robber's mask. But that's why I love them. They're so cute and mischievous. And I just love things that cause havoc, as long as it's not causing havoc to me. Mostly I love just like scamps, you know? Loki, raccoons. What else? Just pretty much any, like, you know, smirking kind of idea you can find. It just all amuses me. I think they're phenomenal because I love to fuck with people. Like, not in a bad way. I love to tease. I love to make people laugh. I'm huge on pranks. Oh, dear God. Caitlin's saying, I want to be where the people aren't. Yeah, well, there's some people I want to be around. Like, you and I definitely are going to have to meet up because we definitely need to sit and drink and eat comfort food together and bullshit and just have girl time, you know? Because I really feel like you and I can have some in-depth conversations face to face. I think you would get me a lot more than you do even now. Expressions are everything. That's why I don't show my face on here, because I can say one thing and I can listen to people and I can, but God damn it, I cannot be responsible for the expressions my face makes, because I can't hide what I'm really thinking or feeling. I just can't. I can't. So that's that. But you, lady, I plan on painting the town at least pink with you if we don't do red. You know, you're married. I'm old. Red is a bit flashy for us. We can paint our nails red. I would love to do that. We'll go do spa days, whatever. I'm really excited that I know at some point I'm going to meet you. And I think it could be a beautiful friendship, even more so than it is. So, he said, blah. No blah. There is no blah today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, goddammit. I know you're not humping anything, but hump the air. I'm sure nobody will think it's crazy. Just don't do it in school, because that way lies jail or a promotion. You never know. Lady Awesome said, we can just paint. Oh, hell yeah. Let's all paint. Come on. That would, oh my God. See, now you're putting things in my head, because now I can see myself outside, animals like in the distance and dogs running around and my easel up. God, it's been so long since I just painted, since I just let the brush speak for me and let the colors just blend and coalesce and have different hues that stick out, like different points in my day where there's some darkness, there's some light, there's surprises, and there's dazzle, and there's just everything. I haven't done that in so long because I just don't have the room here. You know, I'm a messy painter. I'm so messy because I get in that zone and I don't pay attention. And next thing you know, my palette is off to the side. I have paint on my shoes and I'll pick it up and like, it'll be on my hand. I'm like, oh, you know what? Right on the canvas. And let's see what this does. And let's draw our fingers together and swirl and this. And well, so if this is my heart and this is the emotions coming from my heart, this is what it looks like in my head. And that's how I do things. That's how I sculpt. That's how I paint. Everything everything emanates from the energy flowing from my hands. It doesn't connect with me cerebrally the way everything else does. Like, yes, I'm creative and I love to draw. I love to paint. I love to sculpt. I used to really enjoy like crocheting and stuff like that. That's a little harder on my hands, but yeah, we'll get there. Strengthening exercises for my hands. Maybe I can, beat this bitch with a bat, but I'm going to try. There's no point in me saying I can't do it if I haven't tried it. Caitlin said, yes, that sounds so fun. I want to do the fun girly things with you. Ooh, girl, you better watch your language. Because I do different fun girly things than you do. Oh, sometimes there's scissors. Anyway, I'm just fucking with you, Caitlin. You're perfectly safe with me, unless you say you don't want to be safe with me. Then, fun time. Either way, we're going to have a good time. But you derailed me, damn it, with the naughty thoughts. To be fair, I woke up that way. Yeah, I woke up at about 4:30 this morning ish. And I was just like, suffice to say, I didn't bother rolling out of bed for like an hour and a half, but I wasn't as tired. And I'm in a really good mood. So lucky you. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, the painting. So yeah, Lady Awesome, you should get back to painting. Why not? I completely believe in indulging your sense of self-expression. I have always felt like that. I don't care if you want to sit there and you feel the need to make 100 snowflakes out of paper. You do you, boo. We can do it together. I'll do my thing, you do yours, and we'll create up a whole bitch in here. And it's like, I want the freedom to do that. I want the space to do that. Rabbit said the farm is winterized, but now I'm sore. Oh, honey. I mean, at least it's a good sore. That you got it done and you're set. Because we all want to know that you're safe. And winterized means, everything's taken care of and covered, and things are put away or things are protected, and you should have everything fine. I hope your pipes and everything for the house are winterized. I know sometimes over the summertime, ours used to get weird. She says it's called old age. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I stood up before so I could run to the bathroom before I started the show. And my daughter was in the kitchen and my knee popped. And then my other knee popped. And then my ankle popped. And then I stood up straight and I stretched and my back went tick, 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 tick. And she said, "Oh my God, was that you? Did that hurt?" I was like, "No, it didn't hurt." Every time she hears my bones pop, she's like, "Is that hurt?" No. Jacob Castro, he says, "Sup, savages? Sup? How you doing, babe?" Of course, I mentioned scissoring and other girls, and Jacob shows up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I don't really go there this early in the morning, but hey, my topic. We're not going to go there. Not going to go there." So, I miss painting. I really, really miss sculpting. Oh God, I miss just playing with clay, because you can make the most unbelievable shapes and objects and whatever, just crazy things. Some of them would look like aliens. Some look like they were straight out of like a Salvador Dali painting. I just loved it because I never knew what I was going to make when I sat down to make something. Like I said, the energy came from my hands and it came from my soul. It did not come from my brain. It was the only thing. Art is the only thing, besides one other thing, that empties my head. It's like my head goes, "Oh, good, you don't need me. I'm going to take a nap." And it's like, okay. It's it's very freeing for me. And I can't wait to do that again. And the fact that you said painting, Lady Awesome, I mean, now all I want to do is just set up an easel and set up a wheel and just go for it and just do all the things that I've been missing. You know, all the things that I want to do while I make myself stronger. You know, I'm on that road. I see it. It feels right. It feels solid under my feet. And I know it's going to be quite the fight for me. But that's what I am. You know, I've always been a fighter. Even when I couldn't fight for myself, I fought for other people. You know, I fought for the animals all the time. I fought for having my opinion heard, whether people wanted to hear it or not. You know, I didn't fight for material things. I don't do that. I could give a crap about material things. I care about people and animals and doing the right thing. Even when I've been known to fuck up. Even when I've been known to be on a freaking tear for a week or 2 weeks. I'm an emotional person. I'm not going to apologize for it. You know, when I shut down, that was when I was at my worst. You know, me being mean a couple of times, at least I'm alive. That's the way I look at it. I'm trying very hard now to be better, to bite my tongue a lot. I bite my tongue. It's amazing that I have a tongue left because I'm always like, oh, don't say anything. I'm like, I bite my lip, I bite my tongue. It's just like I'll sit here and like hit my leg, and I'm like, don't say a goddamn word. And it's like, thank God for the mute feature on these microphones because Lord, it takes everything in me not to go, yeah, motherfucker, pull the pin, throw it, and let's see what happens. I bet you I'm still standing because Little Miss likes to fight. Well, some things you can't really lose. I don't have to indulge it, but it's always going to be a part of me. It's always going to be one of my natural reactions. It's just the one that I keep a really tight and rigid control on. Private said old people are like cereal. Snap, crackle, pop. That's right. That's right. God, I never thought that time would come. I remember cracking my knuckles all the time. Because again, like to fight. So I hit a lot of things. And I used to crack my knuckles in like 4 different ways. I could do them independently by just closing my fingers a little bit at a time. I could make fists and crack them, or I could crack them using like the other hand, like on the big knuckle and the small knuckle, the middle knuckle. I could even pull the fingers till they popped, and I got yelled at all the time for it. That was my biggest nervous twitch when I was growing up. I would always, you know, some people, they blink too rapidly. Some people, they, you know, twitch their head to the side or whatever. They get like a weird kind of like a jerking twitch. No, I would crack my knuckles. That was my nervous tick. I would constantly crack my knuckles. And if you made, like, I had teachers who made me sit on my hands so that I couldn't do it. And you just hear crack, 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 crack. And they're looking at me and they're like, I told you to stop cracking your knuckles. I'm like, I'm not cracking my knuckles on my hands. No, I was bending like my toes in my shoes and just crack, crack, because fuck you, don't tell me what to do. Jacob said, I cracked my horse's neck. Loudest cracking you've ever heard. Yeah. No, see, I went with my mother to the chiropractor when she was getting her whole back cracked because she had a slip disc. So she like couldn't move at all. And it was so funny because I had never heard somebody's back crack before, except when they stood up and stretched. And then it's only like a little pop, pop. And my cousin, Albie, our cousin Albie, was her chiropractor. So he positioned her on this, like thing. First he had her it was standing up the table, and he had her hold on to the bars at the end, and he lowered her down because she couldn't bend to get on the table. And then he pushed one leg up and put one leg kind of off to the side and twisted her back a little bit. And then once he was happy in the position that he had her, he was like, all right, Marion, don't move. And he leaned on her from the back, and all of a sudden he hopped up, and he was short as shit. He's definitely he was so my family, because I think he topped out at 5'2". And first of all, he was, this is no lie, he had step stools in his office, but because my mother was there and he was embarrassed, he didn't use them. So he lowered the table as much as he could, but he still couldn't reach her. So you see him just jump up in the air, and he landed hard on her side, which is where he wanted to be. But bro, the crack that I heard, she cracked like somebody ran over 100 feet of folded bubble wrap. It was from the top of her neck all the way down. And then he said, okay, hold on for this one. He pushed her one knee down so that her legs were semi-straight, but not quite. He pushed her shoulders forward and jumped again, and her back let out a crack like a whip. I was like, oh my God, you broke my mother. You broke her. I was like, what the fuck, Albie? You broke her. I was so upset. And she was like, all you heard was, I was like, okay, that sounded painful. She was like, no, it feels so good now. I was like, I'm not doing that. Don't teach me to do that. I can't do that to her. God, do I wish he taught me how to do it now, because I'd love to crack her ass like that. It's that would give me satisfaction. So see, if you get an opportunity to learn something, learn it, because you never know when it'll come in handy. 40 friggin' years later, I'd love to give her a goddamn crack. But yeah. No, it was funny though, because she'd clack. But he also put electrodes on her back at one point, and she was like, it's electricity. I was like, no, son. She goes, give me your hand. She puts my hand behind her back. I was like, oh my God, she fucking zapped me. I was like, how can you sit there like that? Oh, it feels good. Fuck that. I was like, nope, not it. Not me. But I digress. I don't know where we went with that, but whatever. We were doing the snap, crackle, pop, and soaring winterization and painting, and we were just all over the place. But it had a theme, and the theme was panic attacks. I had a really bad one Monday before the show during the night. I woke up out of my mind, and I couldn't bring it in. I could not rally at all, because it was using the fact that I was so tired to overtake my senses, because normally I can tell myself, okay, yeah, it's all right. You just breathe. Just breathe through it. But even though I got out of it enough to function to do the show, I still wasn't out of it. So I kept having little anxiety attacks throughout the show and breaking down and whatever. So it was kind of a heavy show. Today I didn't want it to be as heavy. I wanted it to be lighter, because I feel so much lighter. Am I happy? Yeah. I could be happier. I could be less happy. I'm content with how I feel right now. I'm not afraid. I'm a little nervous, but not enough to send me off the rails. And that was part of what was giving me panic attacks. The fact that I couldn't control it. I couldn't anticipate it. I didn't have any kind of precursors. Normally when I'm going to have a panic attack, if it's not caused by a phone call from a number that I know I don't want to talk to, I get little panic attacks when I see my daughter's father has called me, because I don't want to deal with him. I really don't. I don't want to deal with him. I don't I don't want to hate this man. But every time he comes after me and ignores his daughter, I hate him a little more. And he asked me, are you mad at me? Because I wouldn't answer the phone. I wouldn't answer his messages. And I was like, no, I'm not mad at you. Because I don't like when people think I'm mad when I'm not. It's very, very, very difficult to make me angry, like to the point where I'm mad. The only thing that you guys have ever seen is me losing my patience. You've never witnessed me losing my temper. T-Rex has. Winning definitely has. And that's about it. Nobody else really has witnessed me here lose my temper. And even with them, I was only able to verbally show them how I lose my temper, which was scary enough. Caitlin said, my back feels tense now and needs popping. Thank you. Your best bet to pop your back when you get out of the car, stand with your feet shoulder length apart. And this is not medical advice. This is just something I know works for me really well. And there's a yoga position where you do like the sunshine, like you put your arms up, you put your hands together, go up, bring it down, breathe in, breathe out. That's part of it. But what I used to do is I would do the arms up together. I would breathe in when I did that. As I went down, I'd breathe out. I'd turn my hands so that it was, going away from my body instead of up. I do it again, breathe out all the way, breathe in, whatever. For me, I don't know. I can't remember if I used to breathe in first or breathe out first. I think up was in, down was out was in was out. That's how it went. And when I do that, I would repeat that like 2 or 3 times so that my arms and my shoulders would loosen up a little bit. And my diaphragm would, get used to like expanding and like, constricting. And then on the last time that I would come down, I would put my hands behind my neck and drop down like in a roll from my head to my waist. And then I would just like bounce so that I was basically folded in half, but it would crack my back from my neck all the way down to my tailbone. And with each time that like I just let my body fall a little harder, like to fold, it would crack deeper and deeper. And I would get like this surge of relief because it just, all the muscles would release and feel so good. So maybe try it. They're little popcorn cracks. They're like the pop, 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 like that. But they feel so good because they're the ones you don't get to do. Like you just don't crack those parts of your back. And the more you like try to keep yourself rounded, not straight, so that you really open up those spaces. And it feels really, really good. So Caitlin, that's my advice for cracking your own back. I have a horrible back. I have no tailbone. It broke. So I just have nerve endings. It's great. It's like, oh yeah, let me fall on my ass really hard so I can be paralyzed for life. That's awesome. Panic attacks. That's where I was. So sorry. When I'm upbeat, my brain like goes, let's talk about everything. And I can't decide. So, on that list was the finances. Like I said, I want to get the fuck out of this town. I want open spaces. I want fresh air. I want to be able to move around and set up rooms, specifically for my recovery, where I can go and be in my zone and I'm not bothering anybody and I'm not running into anybody. Me doing exercise is not going to hit anybody with the machine or whatever, because that's my main thing. There's no room here and everybody's always so fucking far up my ass that they get hurt. If I'm lifting a weight, then Katie's like right there, she gets hit. I'm like, why are you on top of me? Like, I don't understand. Go away. I just want to see what you're doing. I don't want you to see what I'm doing. Like, leave me the hell alone. There are certain times I just want to be by myself. Kaiser Pineapple. Hello, honey. How are you? Good day to you. And stop bitching about Ahsoka. I'm like, getting mad. Yeah, making me mad. Like, everybody's bitching about this thing. I loved it. I had such a good time watching it. And it really was just like this little window into a time when I was curious what happened, you know, and I loved being able to see that. I don't care if it was canon, not canon. I don't care. Like, I just enjoyed it. But people are so used to just sucking the fun out of everything. It's like, God, can't you just relax and enjoy it? You know, not like sex or anything. It's like, it's a freaking TV show. It's 45 minutes. Sit back and stop being bitchy. I mean, not for nothing, Kaiser. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm talking more about other people who I have heard completely trash it. And it's like, but why? Jacob Castro, oh, he's showing pineapples. I know it's for Kaiser, but if you only show a pineapple, kind of makes us think you're a swinger. Are you a swinger? Do you hide them like outside on the front lawn, like upside down, and hope only like the people who are in the know? Because, you know, if you know, you know. And then you hope they fuck around and find out in a good way. Kaiser, as they always say, enjoy what you like. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm just giving you shit. You know that. I like to tease you. You're sweet. The finances. And then I started thinking about, I was like, oh my God, this group owes me money. This group owes me money. This group owes me money. And I'm going, Jesus Christ, like every time the government takes money from me over a long period of years, they never want to give it back. My money. You took my money, my pension. Guess what? I don't work there anymore. Give me my goddamn pension back. Like, just give it to me. Stop fucking with me for the last year. So it's like whatever. Kaiser said, not a swinger. I just like pineapples. You know, I loved pineapples until I became allergic to latex. Because apparently there's natural like rubber latex in the pineapple or the pineapple leaves or whatever. And so I get a bad allergic reaction, and the first thing that happens is my lips blow up. Now, if you haven't seen me, I don't have thin lips to begin with. So when my lips blow up, you ever see The Land of Confusion? You know, Phil Collins, old Genesis. They're like, this is the land of confusion. Like, and they have all those like over exaggerated caricature puppets and stuff. And they have giant lips. That's what I look like. Angelina Joe lips. And I was just, every time my principal called me that, I was like, I will hurt you. You're not safe, Marty. Eventually I'm going to be able to close my hand into a fist and I'm going to fuck you up. Like, I always tell him, Marty, you want to fight me? No. I used to think it was funny because the teachers would laugh when he'd come out and be like, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, why are you yelling? Don't start with me. You want to fight? You want to fight me? Let's go. No. And they'd be like, he's twice her size and he's afraid of her. Yes, because crazy people are unpredictable. And he's seen me fight. If you touch my face, bye-bye, Shelly, in comes the monster, because you have triggered a transformation you were not prepared for. Because I go full beast mode. Everything goes red. And that's it. They let me go. See, the people that know me, they used to hold me back, but it would take like 3 or 4 of them. And you got to get like an arm each, a leg each, because I will fight the whole freaking way. I don't care. Kitty, please don't sit on my phone because you call people I don't want you to call. She does that. She knows exactly. Did you just fall? You sure did. She sure did. Jacob said he gets that a lot. I'm sure he does. I said, just remember, you can now find my new Not a Swinger, I Just Like Pineapples mug for sale on my merch store. Oh my God, that's adorable. Do you really? Because that has to be a thing. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I can't. I have so many slogans of mine, like sayings that I want to put on merch, and I just don't have the drive to do it because I'm like, it's merch. Who cares? Like, I do I want to have merch? Sure. Am I gonna? I don't know. Like, I think I tried it once and I was like, screw this. It's too much work. It was too much work. Like, I just want to say the slogan and be like, here, go make that mug. Go put that on a t-shirt. Like, whatever. But adding to the anxiety, of course, was my health and thinking about that and worrying about, telling the doctors, Daisy with the boobies. Love it. Nerd said, well, I'm glad you're in a good mood, Shelly. I got to go get ready for work later. Nerd, as long as you say Wednesdays are the worst day, they're going to be the worst day. Try to put it in your head that you're going to have a really good day. And you're not going to let anybody get to you. Those kids, they might annoy you. Their teachers might annoy you. But you're in a job where you make a difference. It's up to you how much of a difference you're going to make. You don't have to be super strict with these kids. They don't need that. They need you to understand them. They need you to, have a little grace and be like not being critical of anything that they're doing. Try to really explain to them why you expect better. Wednesday's the day the kids have the most problems. Well, yeah, of course. If you think Wednesdays are a lot, wait till you reach March. I don't know what happened. Well, actually, wait until the week after Thanksgiving. Right around December 4th or 5th. Oh, it's just glorious, the change in the children. We used to call it the pre-holiday crazies because they will test you. They will test you. If the world ends right after a holiday, trust me, God's going to be like, anybody that works in education, just send them right through because they can't be held responsible for the last month. Just send them through. It's fine. It's the worst. But I used to, I made up for it with the kids. I always kept them busy. So, the ones with the behavior problems became the best helpers. And the ones with the, attention problems, they became the leaders of their group. I love to take what they saw as weakness and turn it around, to let them feel proud of what they could do. That's my thing. I don't want anybody to be ashamed of their shortcomings. I want them to work on them, sure, but don't focus on them. Celebrate the good things about you. Celebrate your strengths. Celebrate your achievements. Be a little cocky about it. Caitlin said, I tried to make yesterday really great after getting no sleep. That's going to be me today. By telling myself it was going to be a great day. It was, in fact, not a great day. Well, you know what? If you trip, get the fuck up and try again. Girl, it doesn't matter. Not everything yesterday was great for me. Not everything the day before was great for me. But there were spots of greatness. There were little beams of happiness that managed to make their way through my day. And somehow they all coalesced in my brain last night. And I woke up thinking I slept an entire night and I only slept 2 hours. And my body was like, haha, you're not going back to sleep. And I said, haha, I'm already in bed. I have other things I could do. And that's what I did. So, we were both happy. It was awake. I was, doing my thing. So, get your happy where you can. I worry about my health, but I think that once I'm away from here and able to get outside and get, some real oxygen and, touch grass and feed the soul a little bit, feed the mind, that the body will follow. I do take different things now to strengthen me. Today's the first day on the creatine. That should be fun. I started taking my turmeric and the ginger and the vitamins and, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And if something doesn't work, I will try something else. But I'm not just going to throw in the towel. No matter what I have waiting for me in the future, I'm going to be there regardless. So why am I going to make it harder for myself? Why would I make it so that I'm more prone to be miserable because I can't do something? I'm going to push myself. Yeah, no, I was already warned. I was fully instructed on not taking them together, Kaiser. Creatine and whey protein powder, the worst farts you've ever had. I heard it was called swamp gas. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'll pass. Like, I don't want that. But I don't want that. So how do I avoid it? And it's like I do one like way before I do the others. And I only do the creatine once a day now. Though the protein powder I do with pretty much every meal. Because I really have to up my protein because my legs still want to, split open. They still want to, weep from the lymphatic fluid. We're working on that. We're working on everything. Everything is a work in progress, which is why I'm not letting myself get upset. Everything that I'm doing is temporary. I just got to get through it. I have to learn how to conquer each thing one at a time. And I can only do that on my schedule. I can't help what other people want. I can't care if I'm going to be disappointing on a timeline. I'll get there when I get there. I'm not stopping, but I'm not going to make myself more unhealthy trying to be healthy. I want to do it right so that it lasts. I want to educate myself on what to do. I want to try different things. Right now, it's about strengthening. I just need strength and some stamina because being able to stand for like 4 minutes and then having I got to sit my back, that's not good for me. It's just not. I'm unhappy with those numbers. I'm used to just doing. I'm not used to stopping for any reason. Physical limitations never stopped me. When I broke my freaking knee, like when I tore my ACL and my meniscus, I slapped 3 friggin' braces on that bitch and I went back to work. And they're like, are you crazy? I was like, no, I'm employed. Like, I have to be here. There are kids who depend on me, not just the ones here, but my own. That's what I've always done. If my tooth hurts too bad and I don't have an appointment until like a week from now, all right, I will be sucking on a friggin' Q-tip that's covered in clove oil. Like, I won't feel my tongue, my gums, my throat, nothing, which, that can come in handy. But I'll deal with the pain until I can get there. But I still have to go to work. I still have to go to I had to go to after school events. I had to do things for my son. I had to do things for my daughter. I couldn't pause. And then, with the isolation from the, lockdown, I paused and I didn't unpause. I kind of got stuck there. Getting decent sleep is key, Jacob said. Which is why I'm up 3 hours before I have to be. See, and I was up 4 hours before I had to be. And I was just like, but why? But why, Michelle? Why do you do this? I sat there talking to my brain for a good 10 minutes going, but why? Why are you like this? Why? I was perfectly content sleeping. I had some really nice dreams. And I don't remember them now, but I know what they were about because I knew how I woke up. And I was just like, but why? Why do you do this to me? And then I'm like talking to God. I'm like, and you, like, are you not paying attention? Could you just maybe give me a couple nights sleep in a row? Because sleeping for 2 hours a night, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Feels a little weird to call God Smalls, but I'm sure he thinks it's adorable. But yeah, so the not sleeping is giving me anxiety that makes me not sleep. And then I realized, okay, all these things, none of them withdrawals. Oh, I had terrible withdrawals from those drugs. Oh, I think yesterday was the first day that I didn't have like the DT chills. Like I was just like my whole body was shaking and it was hot. in here. My daughter was sweating. My son was sweating. The cats are looking at me like, bitch, put that air conditioner on. I was like, I swear to God, if you guys touch it, if you put the damn fan on, I'll kill somebody. I'm freezing. I had like 4 blankets on me at one point. And my daughter was just like, are you sure you're okay? I was like, it's got to pass. I don't have like nothing's distracting me enough. Like I tried watching a movie. I tried like, writing a freaking story. I tried writing a poem. I tried, looking into like Game of Thrones stuff and like getting into that kind of thing. Nothing. I tried talking to my friends. Nothing. And I was just like, you know what? This sucks. And I know what got me out of it because it was, I do things in big ways. I make decisions based on, you know what? Fuck it, it's time. That's what makes me make decisions. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Because the only thing holding me back from those kind of decisions is usually fear. And it's usually fear that I made up in my own overthinking brain. Rabbit said, I get up automatically at 4, even if I get to bed at 3. And that has been doing, like, I've had that problem since I turned 44. It was so weird because I was definitely not like a person to get up early. I was that person who had 9 alarms set for 5 minutes apart each. And you couldn't turn them off like permanently. They would always snooze because I knew I would hit snooze. I had an alarm clock across the room from me, loud as fuck. So I would have to get up. Yeah, never ever put anything past me when it comes to me getting my sleep, especially when I was younger. I was a pitcher. I had excellent aim. I smashed so many of those goddamn freaking alarm clocks from across the room. I would just take up a lamp, throw the lamp. I took the air purifier one day and just chucked it across the room, but it turned the alarm off permanently because it went smush. But I went back to sleep. And I was late for work. I was very upset. And I was just like, God damn it, Michelle, why can't you just wake up? And I sleep. I used to sleep so much, like 9-10 hours. Nope. Couldn't get me up before 10 o'clock in the morning. It was, and even if I got up, I wasn't awake till 10. I'd be at work and it was like this magic thing would go off at like 10 o'clock, like the coffee would kick in and everything. And I'd be like, hey, what are we doing tonight? And they just like look at me. Eventually they learned, schedule gym. Like do first period circle group because, the kids sing and whatever. And it's always a good time. Then do gym so that there's not a whole lot of interaction. And then once that's over, I'm awake. That was a great schedule. It was an amazing schedule. Jacob said, I haven't used an alarm clock in 15 years. I've used them for other people. For my kids, for everything. I use the timer on the phone when I'm cooking or baking or whatever. But for me, no. I never sleep past the sun up. Nope. I have to take pills to do that. And I don't take the sleeping pills anymore. And I had no weed for weeks, like 2 weeks where I had nothing except the edibles. And like the dregs that were in this like bowl in the bong. That was it. So I didn't really indulge. And I got some yesterday. But I got sativa. And I was thinking, yeah, all right. So I'm giving up this, I'm giving up that. I didn't want to give up weed. And I said that I might. And then I turned around and said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. Because I enjoy it. It helps me with my pain. It helps me relax when I am just a ball of nerves. And it really does do a lot for my anxiety. I said, but I'm not going to get indica this time. I'm going to get sativa. So I put my order in. I said, this is what is wrong and what I want it to do. And sure enough, he dropped the thing off and he was like, this is the kind. And I was like, what is it? And I went and I looked it up and it's for depression and anxiety and chronic pain. It's medical grade. And I wondered why he was like, this one's like, it's up there. And I was like, all right, how much are you? He's like, girl, no. Like, stop. Like, we don't do that. I know, but, you're saying like it's top, top shelf. And he was like, it's strong. He was like, you won't need a lot. This is going to last you like a long time. And I was like, you have seriously underestimated my ability to fuck myself up. He just laughed. He was like, just do me a favor. He was like, if you do your pre-rolls, because he knows I do pre-rolls because I don't want to have to do it right then and there. I just want to pick the thing out of the jar and go. He was like, make them small so that you don't go crazy. He was like, you're only going to need like a quarter of a regular blunt to really like be like, okay, la 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 la, time for bed. I was like, all right. So I tried it last night and I was flying. Oh my goodness. Like everything somebody said, because I was having like a whole meeting over future shows, everything they said I thought was hilarious. Everything they did, I was like, bah, ha, 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 ha. I could not stop laughing. Couldn't stop laughing. And then I just was like, Then I just went, good night. Then I got up and I went to bed. I was like, I don't care who's awake. I don't care if they're staying up. I don't care. I'm tired. I'm going to bed right now. And I went to bed right then. I was like, no, got to do it. But I still woke up at, like at 1, like, no, it was like 2:00. I woke up like 15 minutes later. And I was like, listen, bitch, we need to talk. Like, you need to just close your eyes and let it the fuck go. And I was like, you did everything that you said you were going to do. So you're not going to have a panic attack. You're not going to be like all wound up. Deep breaths. We'll listen to a little of that sleep hypnosis crap. And we'll go to sleep. And that's what I did. And I fell right asleep. And that's because I realized that by me purging all those feelings that I had, about my father, about my mother, about, that jackass that raped me, about, losing babies, all these things that I had brought up all these weeks, getting the crap kicked out of me, seeing the dogs, hurt and killed in front of me, like all of that stuff, that was so much. And I wasn't giving myself a break because I knew me, if I give myself a break in between, I'll stop. And I was getting so much done on a personal level that I couldn't stop. It felt too good to get that pain out and to just go, okay, like I'm here with all you good people and you're seeing me break down in real time. So I'm just going to take all this pain and I'm going to throw it on the ground and we're going to dive in, all of us. Because if I go, you go. And that's what we did. I felt safe doing that around you guys. I felt like I wasn't being selfish in sharing it. I was being honest. And I was showing you that it doesn't matter how long you hold on to something. You can still reduce it to nothing. Are the memories there? Yeah, but they have no power over me anymore. I didn't think it could happen that quickly. But the power they had was the power I gave. Same thing with my fears. What the hell am I afraid of? Clearly, I'm not afraid of dying. I've done that so many damn times. Clearly, I'm not afraid to die. Do I want to? No. But am I afraid to? No. That doesn't hold that fear over me like it does most people. I've been there. I've experienced, very sudden, painful death. I've experienced just the kind where you just kind of fade away. I've experienced ones where I was not even aware that I was dying, but I woke up realizing I was dead. It's amazing how you feel that difference. You would think death would haunt me, but it doesn't. I think I'm more afraid of living. Because when you're dead, it's over. If there's a heaven, which I really hope there is, the people that everybody thinks will be there waiting for me, if it's my heaven, won't be the people everybody expects. It really won't. My heaven is going to be filled with pretty much animals and grandma and daddy. and, my babies. That's the one thing I'm excited about, getting to heaven and meeting my babies. Finally meeting my sister face to face. Because in my heart, that's what my heaven would be. But I'm not ready to go there. Rabbit said, I'm hoping they legalize medical marijuana this next election. I want to try it for pain. It really does work. I mean, it depends on what they use. Okay, so like, let me just, this is not endorsing anything for anyone. I just want to say what I'm on, like what he gave me. So he actually has he's got a website where you could pick stuff. And I was like, dude, like I can't pick that. I was like, I can't. Like you pick, and he's like, what do you want it for? And then I described it. So it's called Durban Poison, this flower that, he brought me. And it's like, it's mainly for pain, for chronic pain. It's for staying awake. So it's for medical marijuana patients. And it's one of the world's most powerful strains of sativa. It is apparently 100% sativa. And the description for it is, it hits with a strong, happy head high that's great for creativity and daytime errands. Paranoia may be a possible side effect. Oh, because I don't need more of that, but I'll take the risk, along with some dry mouth. Durban Poison is an effective treatment for depression and anxiety, as well as chronic pain. It can also be helpful with insomnia and nausea. It's ideal for making concentrates, which is something that I do, as the bud's covered in oversized trichomes. The dominant smell and taste of Durban Poison is earthy and sweet with a subtle pine aroma, and it really does smell good. Like it really does have that kind of wet forest, like early autumn morning kind of smell, where it doesn't smell damp, it just smells crisp and clean. And I mean, it made me very upbeat, and then took me down to where I was like, all right, I'm completely chill right now. Like nothing can bother me. And nothing did. It was great. Unfortunately for anybody buying this, the guy that sells this sells it for $450 an ounce. It's way more in the dispensaries, but he sells it for $450 an ounce. He does not sell it to me. He gives that to me. It's a gift because, I've done many, many things for him and his family. Kaiser said, heck, I'm hoping they just legalize it in my state because I need to mellow out. I mean, that's what I originally started because I had such bad anxiety all the time. And I would vape. I would vape the weed. And sativa didn't do it for me. Only indica took me down. But now my anxiety is different. The panic attacks aren't because I was afraid to go outside, or I was afraid. The panic attacks were because I was holding things in after I spent the last 3 weeks training my mind to let it out. Let it out. Just let it go. We can make this just a thought. We can reduce it to sounds, to letters, to nothing. We can take all that power back and feel stronger ourselves, and that has no weight in our life. And I know I'm talking in a weird, like person, but that's what I had to tell myself. I had to say, we got this. And my body was telling me, okay, I like getting rid of all these emotions. I like getting everything and working through everything. Like, wow, I feel better. Because I did. I was happier. I felt better. I felt lighter. I didn't feel like my shoulders were like going to touch above my head because I was so tense that like my neck was just disappearing into this crevice between my shoulders as I turtled, because that's what I do. You guys can't see me, but when I get super stressed out, I turtle. I wrap my arms around me. my legs come in real tight, real close. My shoulders go forward, my chin goes down, and I make myself as small as possible because it's really, really hard to hit the soft spots when you make yourself that way. So I wasn't expecting physical blows, but I protected myself the same way because I didn't know another way to do it. And apparently, by letting that stuff go and just like constantly purge, like each trauma that I attacked and I went through led to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, until I was just kicking their asses out left and right. And then I reached the big one, the one that I thought was the be all and end all. And it turns out it wasn't. Turns out that what my father did, like my trauma over the vent and everything else, that was a huge thing that I had to get through, but that wasn't what was bottlenecking my emotions. Because right under that was Katie. Right under that was everything I went through with her, things I hadn't talked about since they happened, and I just didn't know it was there. I didn't realize that it bothered me so much and it hurt so much that I'd never really unpacked any of it. Like I would give bare bones stories about Katie. I didn't delve deeply into it at all. Fucking Puff the Magic Dragon would send me into hysterics because I would just shut down because, in my head, Puff the Magic Dragon, that was me and Katie. I was always smoking, whatever. We're always outside, always going on our little adventures. And then that happy little girl that was in awe of everything, she just went away. She wasn't there. And it broke me. And when she went away, that was it for me. I turtled up. I did the Puff thing where I went into my cave and that's where I stayed. That's where fun me stayed. All I was just anger and piss and vinegar and vitriol and, fight me. Come fight me. Because I couldn't fight what was happening to her. So I wanted to fight everything else. And it really, getting that out and then letting her hear the podcast because she asked if you could, did so much to like let me flex my muscles again. Let me stand straight and be like, you know what? That was the worst thing that happened to you. It wasn't, getting rented out. It wasn't, your father doing inappropriate, disgusting fucking things to you. It wasn't getting, my virginity ripped away from me. It wasn't losing babies. It wasn't getting beat. None of that compared to the pain of losing my baby right in front of me, of having this child completely transform in front of me and knowing that, okay, I had it really good before. What the fuck am I going to do now? Like, who is this kid? I don't know how to deal with this. I'm too young to deal with this. And for a couple months after she got sick, I was very much fingers in the ears. La, 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 la. I can't hear nothing. But I had to fess up to it because it was staring me right in the face. It's not like a behavior that you can make excuses for. She honestly was just broken, and I didn't do my job right away to build her back up. It was hard. It was hard to face that because denial is a really comfortable place to be when all you know is pain. Lady Autumn Sky said, I'm hoping for medical to be passed. Not sure it's possible for full legal in Tennessee. I know. I've heard. But hopefully, if you live far away from people, you don't really care. I just hate the fact that I could do anything that I have to hide. I don't like to hide anything I do. I like to be very open about it. So if I have to hide that, it's going to irritate me. But, or I could just give it up, which that'll irritate me too. But, I got to decide which devil I can deal with. Sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Well, I got to do it. I got to do it for winning. I got to do it. Where is it? Come on. So many clips.
I guess that makes me the devil.
And in case you missed it,
That makes me the devil.
so there you go. He loves that one. I think it's funny. So that was stuff that I had to deal with. And I didn't realize that it hurt me so much. I didn't realize that I had kept so much of that information from her, that she came out early this morning and she was like, "Can I just talk to you?" I was like, "Yeah, what's the matter?" So I listened to your podcast. I said, "And what did you think?" She said, "I didn't realize that you went through like all of that when I was little." I said, "Well, no, because how could you? You were little, number one, and your memory sucks for number two. So it's like, why would you know what I did? I wasn't going to tell you, because a lot of that I saw as, my shortcomings, my failings, because I didn't. Rabbit, gotta go. We'll be back. Okay, Rabbit, we'll be here. Love you. Be careful. Take something for the soreness, please. Cat, can you please give me... She's pushing me off the chair. And I'm like, bitch. Literally just 2 feet on my ass, pushing me off the chair. Next, you're going to hear boom, boom, and that'll be me on the floor. And then I'll be doing the podcast from the floor because, I ain't trying to get up. You find me on the floor, just leave me there. It's fine. I'll get up eventually. But no, so she was talking to me about it, and she really was like blown away. She's like, "I didn't know that you did all that." I was like, I didn't expect you to remember a lot of it, but do you remember like the different hospitals? Yeah, I remember that. I just didn't know why we were there. So like she knew the places we went to, but she had no idea what we were doing there. She was little, don't forget, but it was still like, okay. She just remembers a lot of doctors and that she hated to lay down. Hated to lay down. T-Rex, time to go drop the car off. Awesome. Be careful. Jacob, what's up? Jacob Peets. Hey, sorry I missed Monday show. Did I see you started early? Started early. I started at like 4:00 in the morning on Sunday because I woke up from a panic attack, and that's why I was like, no, I need my peoples. And then I was okay. We talked through it. Because I think things were said and done by the time I woke up. Oh yeah, so much happened. So much happened on Monday. But this is a different vibe. Today I didn't have any panic attacks during the night. And that's because yesterday I decided to take the bull by the horns and face what else was being held back. Because I was like, I think that's what caused the panic attack. The fact that I was holding on to fear that I had for no reason. I was like, okay, let's look at this, from a different angle, Shell. If you talk about this, if you share this, at least with one person, are you going to die? No. Like, you've survived so much. Why are you afraid of something that could benefit your life? And if it doesn't work out, the way you want it to, again, are you going to die? No. You're going to be fine. Like, so stop being like a little pussy and get up and go do what you need to do. Say what you need to say, but be genuine about it. Don't be a bitch about it. Don't be defensive. Be honest. Speak clearly. Be honest. Get it all out there, and whatever. It's going to go the way it goes. And that's what I did. And I felt afraid when I sent it all in a letter, right? Because I didn't want to say it out loud, because I didn't want to really discuss it. I just wanted to get it out. And so that's what I did. And I did it in a letter, which is my preferred way of purging the most personal things, because I have to stay on task and nobody can derail me. And I don't feel like it's choppy. It can just flow. So that's what I did. And I felt scared, but then I felt good. I was like, you know what? I was like, you did it. You hit send. It's done. Yeah, you can go back and delete it, but I'm sure they saw it. I'm sure they're curious. They just ask you or tell you to send it again. And that was that. I was like, it's out there. You can read it. You're good. Just take a deep breath. You can't control what happens on the other end of that DM. You can't control what happens when they read it. What you can control is you. So don't be afraid. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't be the one who, shoots yourself in the foot like your stupid ass father shot himself in the foot. Like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't. I made a conscious decision not to do that. And I can't begin to tell you the relief I felt. How everything just was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it up to the universe, leave it up to God, leave it up to chance at this point. I took the risk. I put it out there. I showed that it doesn't matter. I know, I'm afraid. I know, I'm trembling, even writing this down. But I got to do this. I deserve to do this. Kaiser Pineapple, have a good day, sweetie. He said he's got to get to work. Aw. Thank you for dropping in, though. I appreciate it. So sweet. Don't forget to hit the like on your way out. Come on. Tickle that thumb. T-Rex, hey. Shooting myself in the foot is one of my specialties. Oh, really? I thought it was living with your foot in your mouth, because that's my specialty. I'm so good at that. Jacob said, beat from this week already. Well, I mean, the week's half over. See, today it's Wednesday. You could be like, oh, I have 3 more days. No, today pretty much over. You did the hard part. You got out of bed. You got ready. That's it. Everything else from there is just gravy. Today's the last day for work. Tomorrow and Friday are set up for the kitty's birthday. Oh, yay. Still stressful, but less so. Listen, parties are only stressful if you let them be. Things will go wrong if you're stressed out. Don't yell. Don't get upset. If something spills, clean it up. If something's ruined, go buy a new one. If something don't taste right, go get a store-bought. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy the time, because nobody's going to remember the stupid shit. They're going to remember balloons and laughing and kids running around and beautiful pictures and just a sense of family and fun and love. That's what they're going to remember. And that's what the kids are going to remember. I'm a very big supporter of making memories, good memories with people. I don't believe anybody is permanent in your life. I just don't. I already hit the like when I got here. You the man, Kaiser. You the man. Thank you, Pineapple Junction. Or Pineapple Express. Was it Pineapple Express was the movie? That was an Amber Heard movie, wasn't it? Ugh. I kind of want to call all her movies vehicles now. This is an Amber Heard vehicle, and we're going to use it to run her ass over. That's great. The only movie I liked her in was the Zombieland thing one, where she gets hit with the sink or something in the forehead and dies. It was a great movie. That was the best scene ever. Cinematic history, I'm telling you. But I would never wish that on anyone in real life, because I'm an angel. Mm-hmm. So, fuck that bitch. Anyway, yeah, Amber, I have no love at all for Amber Heard. I have nothing but disgust and disdain and repulsion and repugnance and just loathing of this woman. And I use woman very, very, very loosely, which I'm sure is the state of her vagina. But at least I called her a woman. I acknowledge that she's a woman. She's a horrible excuse for one, but she is one because biology tells me so. I don't know why people have such a problem with that. But that's enough. Yeah, that's a topic for another time when I figure out how to go Rumble exclusive, because the things I have to say, they're not going to fly on YouTube. Oh, no. No, 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 no. And I have so much to say. So much. Jacob Pete's, where she gets beat the fuck up in the first 32 seconds. Yeah, it was a great scene. She came in all like, rah, and then died. It was great. She is in it. However, I own the movie and didn't know she was in the movie till the trial, and someone told me. I didn't know she was in the majority of the movies she was in. She's that goddamn forgettable. They're like, she was in Magic Mike. She was in Magic Mike. I was like, where? I did a Google search for it. It comes up with her scene. And I was like, oh, that is her. Why would I remember her when Channing Tatum is like shaking his crotch and his ass and everything, and friggin' like Matthew McConaughey's going, all right, all right, all right. Like, y'all look like a bunch of rule breakers in here. Like, I love that stuff. Why would I think of her? Yep. Lady Awesome. I swear to God, every movie she is in and I see her, I'm like, oh, this bitch just ruined this movie for me. Does she croak in this one? Because I like those. Can we blow her up? Throw some gasoline on her. Amber Flambe. Like, it's just, ugh. I've never disliked a person so much in my life, especially when I've never met. And I never hope to meet. I would rather meet the devil than meet this bitch. Because at least him I understand. I get his motivation. She's just a twat. She's a tinsel twat who looks way beyond her prime. With freaking alien features. Now, you see those cheek implants she's got? Oh my God, she looks like an alien. What is with the people in the hollowing of the cheeks? I watched somebody on a LawTube friggin' stream the other day, and this girl was sitting there, and she's got brains, and she's got this, and I'm not saying who it was, but she's got, and all of a sudden I see her, she's just sucking away on nothing. I was like, is Casper there? Like, is it time to like blow a ghost? No, it was, I guess, a nervous tick or to make her cheeks hollow out, or I don't know. But I was like this takes away from you. You're better than this. Stop it. Like, just don't worry about what you look like. How about you worry about what you're saying? How about that? You know, don't worry about doing the little, the fish lips and the duck lips and the, like, no, stop it. I have pictures of me doing that, making fun of people all day long. She basically played herself uber bitch, very forgettable. Yeah. Yep. She never had to act. And we found out during the trial that the only time she can't cry is when she has to cry when she's acting. That explains why she couldn't shed a tear on the witness stand. She's just a lying hoe. She a lying hoe. Lying hoe. Mama said, knock you out. Ooh, I'm going to knock you out. Mama said, knock you out. Yeah, I would love to knock her the fuck out. I'm afraid, though, I'd break my hand on those damn plastic implants. And her, oh, my deviated septum. Stop snorting all that coke. They allegedly said that you snorted. And you wouldn't have a fucked up inside of your nose. Jacob, hey, I never said who I was talking about. I don't know where you're getting at, Castro. I disavow. The beginning of The Way of the Gun. Check it out. Ooh, if she's in it, I don't wanna. Does she get her face popped off? Because that'd be great. That'd be great. They say the cheek thing is a nervous tick. It drives me crazy. It's like, ugh, for the love of God. But you know when I used to love that when my daughter was little? And she'd have the Nook, the pacifier in her mouth, and she'd be dead asleep in like the carrier or like the bouncer or whatever. And either the pacifier would fall out or I'd like just 1, 2, 3, pluck it out while she was asleep. And her mouth would keep going. And she had like the cutest little pouch. She would, and her lips would purse out. She was so cute. She was so cute. Not age, but someone else very punchable. Oh, Way of the Gun. I'm writing it down. I always like to see when people get their comeuppance. Way of the gun. And you said it's in the very beginning? You're my end and my beginning. God damn it. And you did it to me, Jacob. You put the fucking song in my head and it was. Anyway, I just got rid of that goddamn song. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I like her too, but it's like, please stop. It's very distracting. It's so distracting. At least chew on a pen or something. This way it's not as noticeable. I mean, I don't mean to be mean or anything, but it was like a lot. That's Ricada's favorite movie. Mine too. The Way of the Gun is Ricada's favorite movie. No, it's not. It's really not. His favorite movie is American Beauty. He'll tell you that all day, every day. That's his goal in life, to know absolute freedom. And I wish him all the best. The rest of us are schlubs to the machine, but sometimes we'll be able to take a break. I need a cigarette to talk about schlub to the machine. So anyway, so this thing was really, it wasn't bothering me. It was just something that I felt intensely, and it scared me. And so I had to get it out, and I did. And that night, I didn't have a panic attack. Last night, nothing. I didn't have a panic attack all yesterday afternoon or last night. I didn't have that tight feeling in my chest. I wasn't getting the heart flutters. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't losing my mind. My brain was staying in my head where it was supposed to and not trotting off like some, toddler on a fucking leash. I was good. And then I went to sleep. And apparently my brain was like, well, we're super happy now, so we're just going to feel supercharged and wake you up. No. Why am I awake? Why? Why am I awake? I don't want to be awake. I want to be asleep. No? Okay. So I've been awake ever since. But that was what was holding me back. That was what was inducing these horrible panic attacks that would start during the day, and they would reach a crescendo at night and destroy me, because in my sleep I had no defenses. I didn't see it coming. I didn't feel the physical, characteristics start to creep up. And I mean, it was so bad when I had that attack that night, because I couldn't breathe. I was stimming, which is something I haven't done in years. I only stim when I'm completely overwhelmed, when every single one of my functions is overwhelmed. Hold on one sec. Sorry, there was noise that I couldn't figure out what that was. I wanted to get rid of the noise. So yeah. So it was a lot. And letting it out really, really helped. It really did. Not only did I feel an immediate release of pressure, internally, I wasn't worried anymore, because it was you know what? I can't control this. The same way I couldn't control Katie getting sick, the same way I couldn't control my father, the same way I couldn't control, the jackass at 15, the same way I couldn't control my husband and his drinking, the same way I couldn't control, him spending all my money, the same way I couldn't control getting hit. All the things I couldn't control, they all led me to have panic attacks and be overwhelmed by just life being so unfair and heavy and, ever present and intense, that when I was able to let that go little by little, I got addicted to it. I lowered my tolerance for holding that stuff in, which to me is a good thing, because then I won't let it build up like it did before. I won't sit back and do the what if I had only tried. You know what? If I want to, I'm going to try it. If I feel it, I'm going to tell you. And if I think it, I'm going to say it. And if you don't like it, you could suck my left one and kiss my ass. You, in fact, can kiss my entire ass for trying to hold me back from growing as a person. And you should be able to tell that to anybody who tells you, oh, no, just, you don't have to share everything. Maybe you do. Nobody can tell you how to feel. And nobody tells you how you feel better. I was waiting to talk that day to my therapist. She never called. Okay, I'll take this into my own hands. And I did it. And I know she's going to listen to this and be like, oh my God, I didn't call her. It's fine. It's fine, Amy. It's fine. I'm good. We're good. We're better than good. You would be so happy if you had only called. No, but I mean, I'm Catholic, you're Jewish. Of course, the guilt between us like is through the roof. So I got you, girl. And I understand you're having a rough week. And my heart goes out to you. You and your family, both here and over there, you're in my prayers. I think war is stupid on both sides. It does nothing but cause pain and agony and make rich people richer and poor people poorer. You know, it rips families apart. It's destructive in everything it does, and it benefits no one except the people who make the money off of it. Jacob said, I reckon everyone is having a rough week seeing this shit go down. It feels so different than it did when, the whole Ukraine thing happened. It feels like it just escalated so quickly. And it just went from being a nothing burger that nobody was talking about to, oh my God, I can't escape it no matter how or where I go. Like it's even crept into this. So it's like, I want to push it out. I want to ignore it. I want to be like, you know what? We need a place where we can go and not think about that. I don't know if that kind of place exists right now, but I'm going to try. So wait. So that was my whole thing with the panic attacks. And that led me right into the whole topic for today, which was self-regulation. Now, working in a kindergarten and going back to school, getting my, degree with child development as a minor, I got to learn a lot about the ability to self-regulate, the benefits, the drawbacks, the different strategies, different coping mechanisms to get kids to the point where they can self-regulate, what stands in their way, what their possible, like trip ups could be. And I was very into it because my kids in school needed that. They needed to self-regulate because they had no control over anything else. And if I could give them that ability to control their own reactions and their own emotions, then I was giving them a gift that nobody else was, like that nobody else saw value in but me. They're all, well, we got to give them the ability to do this, and we're more concerned with this. Okay, you all be concerned with that. I'm going to be concerned with self-regulation because a lot of these kids can't communicate what they're feeling. So they rage out. They act out, and then they're labeled bad kids or troubled kids. And then nobody's listening to them because you turn a deaf ear because you just write them off as troubled kids when that's not the case. So I don't want them running around losing their shit over everything because other people don't respect their boundaries or honor their triggers that they know about. They think, oh, well, they'll get over it. No. First of all, you don't upset children like that for no fucking reason. That's abuse. That's because you want to feel like the big man in the classroom and you need to have control. So you're going to, yell at these kids who they can't yell back. They can barely speak. And you're just like, I said, sit up. Really? Because if you want to yell, I'm here for it. We can go outside. We can yell. That's how I got Marty to begin with. Yeah. Good morning. Jacob said Ukraine is a conventional conflict. Israel is not. Maybe why it feels so differently. Just my 2 cents. I think because the Ukraine, whenever Russia's involved, it's always got a feel of like, oh God, we're going backwards in time. But only to like the 80s. And then maybe like World War II, and then a little bit of World War I. With this kind of thing, this is forever. There have been holy wars and all sorts of stuff that were fought over there going back millennia after millennia after millennia, well before Jesus. So it was like, it feels like, oh God, I thought this was at least livable. I thought maybe this kind of conflict there was over, at least in my lifetime, because I've seen enough upheaval over there in my lifetime. The brutality of it, the sheer disregard for human life, especially innocent human life on both sides. It's not even heartbreaking. It's like it drains your soul, because like, how can people do this to kids, to old people, to like women who are doing nothing but raising their families? These are innocent people just trying to live their lives on both sides. I don't give a fuck about governments. I'm going to tell you that right now. You should know by now, I don't think any government is any good. They all suck. I think about the people. They're the ones my heart goes out to, because they don't choose for this stuff to happen. They don't choose to get dragged into these things. They are literally innocent bystanders. And it's unfair that this much pain has to happen in the world. Why hurt each other so much? There are people that, and I mean, this is so not like trying to compare two things, so like apples and miniature oranges, but there are people who want to hurt me. There are people who want to tear me down and whatever. I don't care. I really don't. It hurts in the moment, and then I remember they don't matter. My kids matter. The people I love, they matter. I matter. Anybody else outside of that who wants to come barking at the gate, they can stay on that side of the gate. I don't need them in my life. I don't want them in my life. I don't want any ill will to happen to them. I just want them to go away. And it's kind of what I want with all these different conflicts. I'm like, but why? Why did it have to come to a head? Why did it have to be my dick is bigger than your dick and I'm going to do this and I want that? And really? At the cost of how many lives? These are people who, like, they put faith and devotion and hard work and self-improvement and learning. They spent all this time getting to be the people that they were, and they just got snuffed out like they were nothing. Nothing. All that potential, all that beauty, all that happiness and love, gone. Just gone. And when they're all laying there and their souls are somewhere else, those meat, vessels, they all look alike. They're all in the same state now. They're all just gone, destroyed, and shut down. It's not fair. It's not fair that they do that. It's not fair that anybody has the power to do that to anybody else. These governments, they go and make decisions, and it's the people that pay for it. It's the soldiers that pay for it. Soldiers that are following orders. I don't want our boys to get put anywhere. I don't want our girls to get put anywhere. I want them to be home, protecting us. Stay here. How about we make our streets safer? Stop always stepping up for everybody else. I don't see any other countries rushing to our aid. You see any of them coming in here going, oh, you have too many immigrants? I'll take some. No, they're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to clump up, like close down their borders and be like, now even the Americans can't come in. Nerds to you. And you said my son had problems in part because of my inability to self-regulate when I was drinking a bunch. Once I got sober and worked on myself, it helped him too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't self-regulate when my son got really, really bad with the autism. I couldn't do it. The more he acted out, the more I had no ability to contain my emotions. I would be hysterical crying, then screaming, then back to hysterical crying, then slashing at my arms. I mean, he didn't get to see any of that, either did Katie, but that's where I was because I couldn't get a grip. That's what they mean when they say get a grip on yourself. It means regulate your damn emotions and use your brain Put your fifis away for now. Deal with them later. Think now. Don't make an emotional decision. Every emotional decision I've ever made was horrible. But if I thought about them and I processed it and then I made a decision, it was better. And good for you, Inya, that you got sober and you worked on yourself, because that takes a lot of courage and a lot of inner strength. You have to have some real deep faith in yourself and in a higher power to push that kind of demon out of your life. Because they sink their holes, like they sink their talons in you, and they ain't going anywhere. Lady, wait, are we talking about big dicks? I mean, we're always talking about big dicks. Jesus. When are we not? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk about small dicks unless it's like a comedy routine, because they're just sad. I did that to a guy once that he was like, he wouldn't leave me alone. He was like, I got something for you, babe. I got something for you. And he just kept it up. And I was like, all right, let's go. I was like, how about you show me what you got for me? He was like, really? He was like all excited. I wasn't doing shit with him, but I was like, all right, I'll play your game. I think it was like 23. No, it was 24. It was after me and Billy. And it was just like a whole thing. And I was like, yeah, show me. And I went to a room and he showed me and I laughed. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I was like, oh my God, where are the other lights? Because I'm having such a hard time picking it out in the dark. He's like, it's not that dark. I was like, it's not that big either. So I was like, so I need more light. But as soon as he dropped his drawers, he stood there with his arms crossed, legs together, like legs out, like, like in a V. And his pants were around his thighs. And he stood there like I was supposed to give him a medal or something. And I looked down and I went, oh my goodness. I was like, where's the light switch? What? I was like, I need more light. Oh, so you can see it better. I was like, so I can see it at all. I can't see it hardly at all. It's dark in here. Like, it was bad. It was so bad. He was like magenta red by the time I got done laughing. He'll see me on the street. He'll fucking bitch. I'm like, how you doing, little dick? How you doing? Because if you're going to call me a bitch, I'm going to return. There you go. And that's point and match for me. But yeah. Did I cause emotional damage for him? Why not? He caused psychological and like visual damage for me. I had to squint to see that fucker. Squinting is bad for you. Did you not know that? Shit. I mean, I could have went and got the magnifying glass, but I didn't really want to get that close to it. It looked like one of those little things that can jump off and go off and you lose it forever. But I digress. Back to self-regulation. See, self-regulation would be me not laughing at him having a micro dick. But since I had a feeling that's what I was going to find, I was ready for it. And he stopped talking shit, at least in front of me. He talks shit behind my back now, which is always funny because I'm like, you realize I know where you live, right? And I don't have to drive there. I can literally walk there. 2 blocks from my house, bro. Don't make me do it. I'll sit outside with a big old sign that says, I've seen your micro dick. I used Hubble. I don't give a shit. Aziz Light, Fifth Element. Oh. Bada boom, bada boom, big bada boom. Multipass. Mm-hmm. And never without my permission. I love that movie. God, she was Mila Jovovich. Oof, Lord. I was like, even with the bands around her and the ribs sticking out and the orange hair, I do her so hard. Oh my God. I would just wreck her. Oh, and she would love every minute. But I digress. Now that's a chick who looks like she could scissor for days. I'm a meat popsicle. You're a meat popsicle. Am I forgetting that line? I don't know. Even Bruce Willis was like sexy as fuck in that one. Although I much preferred him in Reds. That was, or in Red. I think that it was just Red. But that was the one with Helen Mirren and Morgan Freeman. My personal favorite, John Malkovich. I love John Malkovich. Love, 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 love him. He just, oh God, he plays such amazing characters. I still prefer him as Valmont in Dangerous Liaisons. I watched that when I was a kid and I didn't get all the things that were going on in it. So when I got older and I watched it, I was like, hold up. I watched this as I didn't know none of this happened. Like I had to go all the way back to the beginning. And I was like, oh, like then I got why it was so scandalous and why it was such a like, oh my God, did you see that movie? And then of course, as adults, we all had to revisit it. Because I was like, do you remember this movie? Do you remember this happening? No, that didn't happen. You sure did. Sure did. Like, we need to watch this. So we had like an old fashioned, like, watch party where everybody came to my house. Everybody brought a bottle of wine or, like a 6-pack of beer. I had snacks. I had food. And there was a good like dozen of us just laid around my freaking living room. And we watched this movie. And we were all just like, holy shit. I can't believe they did that. We watched that as kids and didn't know. We didn't know. But oh, I loved him in that movie. God, I didn't even realize that was Uma Thurman in that movie. It was like, who was that child? Yeah, the child was Uma Thurman. I wasn't used to her being young like that. I was used to her being this big freaking supermodel. For her to be all like demure and whatever, it was weird. It was a really good movie. I highly recommend Dangerous Liaisons because, oh Lord, when you see the connections and the shit these people got up to, everybody now thinks that like swinging and cheating and everything, oh, these are like, current world problems. No, they've always been there. As long as people exist, perversions and deviations and sins, they're going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's a line from the movie. Bruce says it. Yeah, I don't remember it. But that was when they got stuck inside the refrigerator, right? Like the auto freeze or whatever it was. He went in there with like freaking Helga or whatever the hell her name was. And then somebody got what were they under the saran wrap when they auto made the bed? Hilarious. Like auto sterilization or something. They were just like dying, suffocating, and he got them out. But anyway, I digress once again. Self-regulation is very important in children. You got to give them the tools they need so that they can decide how they're going to act. They can decide which is the better choice. In the beginning, you really have to hold their hand and talk them through every scenario. And it is good to go about it in a more positive way. You don't just say, make better choices. No, you say, okay, what would have been a better choice? You went through all this. A lot of kids don't understand that by not regulating themselves, they're wasting more time than the time they wasted that got them upset to begin with. And it's about getting these kids around people who understand their triggers, who look for the things that are going to set them off and come up with strategies to avoid those things, or at least to introduce them little by little until they're no longer a trigger. I had to do it with, I guess it's like immersion therapy. You constantly have to face the fear over and over and over and over and over until it's just pointless. It's nothing. Until you get to the point where you're like, all right, I've already done this like 50 times and nothing different happened. Why am I still afraid? What's holding me back? And that's what I did with, like the word daddy. It had too much power when I was little. It had the power to just destroy me. And so I faced it. I would play songs with daddy in the title and I would play them over and over and over. There's Daddy's Home. That was the one that always sent me friggin' running to the bathroom to cry at every wedding. There was one by Faith Hill. Just that one just destroyed me. Not Daddy's Girl. It was, what do you do when your daddy's little girl, or what do you do when your daddy's gone? I mean, it just, and I listened to it over and over and over until it didn't make me want to run and hide. It didn't make me shake. It didn't make me cry. They were all different songs, like that Butterfly Kisses song. That song was a huge trigger for me because it was kind of the things that he said were really sweet in it. But there were some of the things that my father would say, and they weren't sweet the way he said them. He would take positive things and turn them negative so that I just couldn't be happy. That was just how he was. And I took that power back. I took that word back. I took the power back, and I made it my own. And nobody can hurt me with it, ever. Quite the opposite. I gave it new meaning. I wiped everything that meant off the face of my planet. And I'd say that very deliberately that way, because it had no place in my world. It didn't belong there. So I got rid of it. It hurt. Oh, it was terrifying. But that was another thing that gave me another way to regulate my emotions. Because I finally realized, okay, you're feeling some type of way. You don't need to feel that type of way in public right now. Like, get it together, bitch. I'm very hard on myself. And telling myself something like that works. Because if nobody else can give me the, like the safe space that I need, I have to create it. I have to say, you know what? You're acting this way. You're making it worse. I can't always catch it because sometimes you're in it and you just need somebody to tell you, listen, not for nothing, but you're being a real bitch. Do you even know? Like, do you hear your tone? Because I can guarantee you, I don't. I think I'm in a great mood. And everybody's like, God, she was in a mood today. No, I was fine. It's just, I don't always notice. Butterfly Kisses by Bob Carlisle. Love that song. I grew up down the street from him. I graduated high school with his daughter, for whom he wrote the song, and he sang it at our graduation. Oh my God, I'd have been no good. I'd have been no good. But I do love the song. I listen to it now all the time. But the part where, Daddy's, walking her down the aisle, it gutted me. That was just the one thing I was never going to have. I didn't have my big wedding because I didn't see the point. The only part I looked forward to, I didn't give a shit about who I was marrying, number one. And number two, I dreamed about my dad walking me down that aisle my whole life. From 3 years old, it wasn't my father I saw walking me down the aisle. It was Daddy. Ray. His name was Raymond, in case, I ever slip and say, oh, Ray. The stepfather that adored me and loved me and died at 34. That was Ray. Raymond. They always call him Raymond. Best man I ever knew. Best man I ever knew. And I know we tend to sanctify people once they pass, but he could be a real shit to people. He could be cocky. He could be an asshole. He could be a fucking know-it-all when it came to like anything electronic or mechanical or whatever. But he was always the best version of himself for me. He unconditionally loved the kid that was not his. He never hurt me, not once. He never made me feel unsafe. And I pushed buttons. I knew I disappointed him many times. Devastating. They were devastating. but I loved him with everything I had as his daughter. I never thought of him as my stepfather. I make that distinction now because people don't know how to keep it separate in their head. I know what I mean when I say my father, that's the fat bastard. When I say my dad or daddy, that's Ray. When I say my mother's husband, that's my mother's husband. Like that's stepfather number 2. But they got together at the point where I didn't need a father anymore around because I'd already had the best father. This guy wasn't going to come along and like push his way in as much as he tried. I was like, you pushed your way and you pushed me right out. So I don't need to be concerned with you. You're a non-factor to me. Which is probably why I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't like him particularly, but he makes my mother happy. Okay. I don't want her to be unhappy. I would like her to stop trying to push me to be unhappy. But, you know, there's only so much you can change people, you know, by telling them, I don't like when you do this. I tell her all the time, I don't like when you do this to me. The thing is, she don't care. So it's like, all right, you don't care that you're doing it to me. I'm not going to care that you're here. How about that? I'm not going to give you the power to hurt me. I'm not going to give you the power to put me down and make me feel like I'm nothing. You want to go be nothing? You go do it. Leave me the fuck alone. And that's how I feel about everybody that's against me. I don't want to fight you. You're not worth it. You got a problem with me? Go fuck off. Go fuck off over there. You go have a problem with me, and you cuddle up with that problem, and you tell me how good it feels. Because I'm gonna go on living my life. You know, meeting great people, having great conversations, helping anybody I can, loving with everything I've got in my soul. See, I don't need for people to love me back. I'm used to that. I'm used to them not doing that. But for a long time, I gave up on loving anybody. I didn't need to self-regulate because I stopped feeling. I just stopped. I turned everything off. All I had left was the pain. And I didn't have any reactions because the pain was always there. It was ever fucking present. And it was like, okay, I guess we're just going to deal with this today. I guess this is what we're going to be like all day long. And that's where I lived. I didn't have to regulate. I was just always depressed. I was always upset. I was always ready to just throw in the towel. I am so not throwing in any towels. I might smack you in the ass with a towel, snap you a little bit, but throwing it in, nope. Because I don't want to. I don't care what the world throws at me. I want to do things. I want to watch a meteor shower. I want to drive somewhere where I could see the aurora borealis. I want to see every star in the sky. I want to lay under those friggin' stars and try to count them and get frustrated every time I got to start over because I know it's futile, but God, I want to try. You know, I want to imagine what's out there. You know, I want to walk through, you know, fields of beautiful flowers, you know, flower gardens and stuff like that. I want to walk along the beach, listen to the waves. I used to do that all the time. You know, I want puppies. I want more kitties. I want ducks. You know, I want to live somewhere where people will come by and I want them to be there. You know, I don't want visitors here. Because they come in the house and they're in here and then they don't want to leave and it's just a fucking hassle. I want to be able to, you know, have like outdoor stuff. Somebody comes by, let's sit on the porch. Let's go in the yard, watch the dogs run around. Whatever. I want to go to a shooting range. Maybe not a shooting range. I kind of want enough land that I can have the shooting range like on my land. But I mean, I want to be able to do that. I want to learn how to shoot a gun correctly. I want to teach somebody how to use a knife. I do. I want to cook all the time. I want somebody to like bite into something that I've made them and be like, oh my God, that's delicious. Thank you. I want to see like just the pleasure on somebody's face when I make a dessert that they're like, oh my God, I want to marry this dessert. Like, sure you do. Buy a dinner first. But like all those things, I want them all. I want to meet people that I never thought I'd ever get to see face to face. And it all comes down to I need to learn what I learned as a kid. I learned how to control my reactions so that I wouldn't gain anybody's attention. I learned how to be invisible. That's what my self-regulation was, a survival instinct. It kept me from being seen. It kept me from being heard. I wasn't being punished if you couldn't see me. Now I'm so outrageously loud and I can be horribly cruel because I have that ability. But it's not my natural state. I don't like being pushed there. I love when people push me to do that. They back me into that corner and the only option I have is to become that person. And then they're all shocked and shaken and like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. Why? You set me up for it. Hell, you set me up for weeks. Only now I popped off and now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. Really? Then you stupid. You stupid as hell. If you see the missile incoming and it's about to hit, do you think it's not going to go boom? What is it, just going to land there and be like, only if it's made by Hammer Industries. Happened to grab the table that was right next to his, and yeah, I got a weird celebrity-ish meeting story. Before he was as big as he is today, Cole Swindle played at the Dallas Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Not only did we get the meet and greet tickets, but we also happened to grab the table that was right next to his aunt. That was part of his tour's entourage. Very nice. Very cool. And you said, that's cool, Jacob. I had to Google the name, but I've heard his music. It was just the weirdest little bit of serendipity I think I've ever experienced in my life. Things happen like that. They do. I do believe people are put in your path, and some of them are there just to enjoy. Some are there to, like teach you a lesson, and some are there to teach you what not to do. I don't believe anybody is permanent. You can't control death. You can't control sickness. You can't control accidents. So you have to enjoy them while they're there. And if you're not enjoyable, you're stealing something from them. You're taking away memories from them. You have this different memory. They're like, do you believe she was all over the place? Like, I was scared. She was all over the place. Teenagers, they don't learn self-regulation very well. They learn when they're little, they're great. And then those hormones kick in and forget it. They don't remember how to do shit. Everything is melodramatic. Everything's the end of the world. Yeah, we got to teach them. You got to dial it back a little bit. Because if you're getting this upset over this petty shit, the world is going to crush you. So we need to have a refresher course in how to be, self, like regulated, how to be centered and zen when you have to be, how to bite your tongue when not to bite your tongue, and like how to just control yourself so you can go on being independent. Because if you can't self-regulate and you get really out of hand, they take your freedom away because you're likely to commit a crime. I'm just saying, if you have no self-regulation, you're likely to beat the hell out of somebody at some point. You're likely to react to something violently when you normally wouldn't have. My best friend won meet and greet for Blink 182 in 8th grade. Oh, now you taking me back. We got to ride in the limo and see the show. They would barely look at us. Bunch of 15-year-old girls. They were probably just, y'all were probably screaming. They're like, really? Just can we move the mics away from them? Because now we're going deaf. I'm sure they were told not to touch a single one of us. Well, I would hope not. I hope they were like, no, no, no. Man, if that would have happened 2 to 3 years later. Oh, believe me, I understand. I understand. Meeting Poison, meeting Warrant. Thank God I was 16 and very much into ladies and not men because men scared me. Or I'd have done the whole damn band, both of them, because it was a good time. I was tripping, but it was a good time. I just didn't get to meet Bon Jovi that night. I saw them, but I didn't get to meet them. We just didn't have the time. We had parents come to pick us up. We were lucky we got to meet the bands as it was those 2 nights. But again, I can thank my aunt for that because she was like, oh no, we're getting back there. And she disappeared for like 10 minutes, came back, and she's like, I met somebody I knew that's on the team. Come on, let's go. Okay. Like, whatever. I was just happy to meet somebody that made music because you never really got to meet musicians in my town. Like, you got to meet singers, but not bands. Like, we never ran into like bands. I never got to go to Maxwell's. Maxwell's is the big music bar here where, you know, a lot of people got their breaks. And Bruce Springsteen did the video for Glory Days in that bar. And it was phenomenal. I was outside watching through the windows. It was amazing. But it was a good time. Justin Timberlake was there not too long ago. He just showed up to do a video. And it's only a couple blocks from the Augustinos where Johnny Depp came after the trial. Some bitch. He was only 3 blocks from me, and I was too sick to go see him. And I had heard about it before he got there, so I could have gone and been like right in the front. But it is what it is. My sister won Beyonce tickets on the radio. Robin Thicke opened before the concert as we were walking to our seats. This guy asked if we want the backstage pass, and we were thought, yeah, no, weird old guy. While Poison is before my time, still one of my favorites. That said, Lucky. Oh, you have no idea. That was when Bret Michaels was hot. He was so hot. Oh my God. And he was such a sweetie. He really was. He was not like pervy at all. He was just very much like, what do you guys do? Like, oh, I'm dying for like a good meal and whatever. It was like, okay. And it was funny, this shit that he was talking about, but they weren't big yet. They were just always on the road. I'm sorry, I got a tickle. Hold on. I got that damn back trip, and it's just like driving me crazy. I partied with Amy Lee before they got famous. Really? They were playing at a pizza place when we went to it. That's Evanescence, right? Later, that same guy walked on stage and Beyonce said, "This is my father." And oh my God, it was the same guy. I said, he's still a dirty old man. I mean, without a doubt. Look at the father of the Jackson 5. Look at friggin' Ike Turner. I mean, these are all older men that they were still like, sus. They were sus. I wouldn't have friggin' gone off with them. Fuck that. That was like 15 years ago. Lady Awesome, knowing all the awesome people. T-Rex, car is dropped off. Back to the truck now. Good. Can you go run her over? Kidding. In Minecraft. Just in your mind. In your imagination. So yeah, so kids, teenagers, adults. Self-regulation, it's a really fancy way of saying, break up what you're feeling. Examine it. And then make decisions or act on it, but don't do it all at once. You have to think first. Take a pause. For people like me who are very volatile, very like, I'm very defensive because I have to be, or at least I had to be growing up. I don't have to be now. Nobody's coming after me. Nobody's trying to, rape me. Nobody's trying to molest me. Nobody's trying to beat me to a pulp. None of that is happening. So I don't have to run away from it because those ghosts aren't there now. I did away with them. I put them to rest. Will they crop up every once in a while? Maybe. But they don't have the punch that they had back then. So I don't need to have knee-jerk reactions every 5 fucking minutes. I don't have to worry about always being attacked, about always, at Indian Man, why you got all the cool stories? Listen, Jacob, you just obviously don't know the right women because we all have amazing stories. We tell each other, but see, we keep you guys in the dark because it's fun. So, I mean, when it comes to self-regulating, it's important for me to do that because I don't want to let my pain or let these people's actions in the past still affect me and the people around me. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the people who are in my life. And it sure as shit isn't a power that person has anymore. Like, you're gone. You're nothing. I laugh at you. I laugh at you. Ha ha ha. That's me laughing at you. You can't do shit, you impotent little man. And that's what gets me to regulate my emotions. The fact that I know I don't have to fight right away. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of people who want to fight me. But there's nobody around in my immediate vicinity that wants to hurt me. So I don't have to always be at the ready. I can relax a little bit. I can do the introspection and figure out, okay, take a minute, Shell. Like now when people upset me, I'm like, you know what? I need a minute. And I don't care if it sounds mean when I say it or whatever. I walk the fuck away or I mute myself and I'm just like, get it out. I'm like, I'll get it out on my own. And then when I come back, they're like, are you all right? I'm like, I'm getting there. I wouldn't push me again if I were you, but I'm getting to that place. And they'll usually realize, oh shit, I crossed the line. And that's what you need. You need to be able to tell somebody what boundary line they crossed and why. Like you tell them why it upsets you. They'll be like, I didn't know. No, see, I've told you. You didn't find it important enough to put in your memory bank. And that's why we're here where we're at. I don't want to be here. So let's talk about it. You have to be more grown up about it. I don't know many grown-ups. I really don't. I know old people, but I don't know grown-ups. Because when you get like that, you revert right back to being a kid and your self-regulation goes right out the window. You have to work to control yourself. You have to work to keep everything steady and even because consistency is key to anything, to being a good parent, to being a good spouse, to being a good boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother. It doesn't matter. Child, it does not matter. Consistency is huge, especially when you're dealing with people who, one, can't pick up on social cues, or two, have trauma so they see everything as a threat. I don't want people who are in trouble to see me as a threat. I want them to know that they can talk to me. Don't believe the shit you hear. That comes from people who can't self-regulate and don't want to. They just want to watch things burn. I don't want anything to burn. I want everybody to be happier. I want peace of mind for everybody because I think that's precious. So when it comes to self-regulation in people, I think that there are things they can do immediately to help them. The first thing is to recognize that they're about to go off the reservation. They're about to go off the rails and say, stop. That's the first thing. Don't allow the conversation around you to keep going because then that's just people stirring the shit pot over and over and over and over, and you're going to get caught up in it. You got to learn to tell people, stop. I'm not listening to this because this is just not what I'm interested in. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the drama. Take it to somebody else. It means nothing to me. And then you ignore the shit out of them. But don't react. If somebody's egging you on, don't react. If somebody's physically in your face and you don't want to fight, don't fight. Don't fight. Hold back. See if you could walk away, but control yourself so that you're never, ever able to be held up as part of the problem or the cause of the problem. See, I wasn't so smart. I acted like myself all the time. And it got held against me because it got twisted. Over and over and over, it got twisted. And it's like, all right, that's what you need to do. That's what you do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. And if you want to continue to think the worst of me, then there's nothing I could do about that. And I'm not going to worry about it. That's a huge step in learning how to control your own emotions and reactions, is to realize that whatever other people do, that's a them problem, not a you problem. They made the decision to make that choice, to act out that certain way, to say those words. You didn't. Now, if you slide down into the muck with them, then you have a problem. But just be better than that. You have the ability to say, you know what? I am capable of all this destruction, but I don't want to entertain it. And you figure out ways to do other things. You come up with alternatives. Do your research. That's all you got to do. Look up coping mechanisms or defense mechanisms, or how to self-regulate as a child, toddler, teenager, mid-schooler, college kid, snowflake, adult, elderly, all of them. Wait, what? What, T-Rex? And you said, I've never been good at that. My feelings just happen. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have the knee-jerk reaction if you're feeling secure. If you're feeling like, strong in where you are and who you are, and the people that you're dealing with, you've already recognized that they're just shit stirrers, then you don't have to have that knee-jerk reaction. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't need validation from anybody. Nobody but yourself. And the only people you should be trying to please outside yourself is your immediate family. And anybody who don't like it, they can go suck it. I had a hard time swallowing it down. Girl, that's not what I heard. I thought we were like, anyway. T-Rex said, ain't that the truth, Shelly? Hey, don't laugh at me, Shelly. It's a problem. I've been talking to my doctor about, listen, we all have problems. The fact that you're willing to admit that you have one and address it, that's it. Like that means everything. Baby steps, T-Rex. Baby steps. I don't think I have that one. I don't think Winnie gave me that. He might have. Let me see. No, I mean, I have, property tax, but I don't have that one. I'm so upset now. I'm so upset. Why don't I have that one? Winning. Damn it, I need baby steps.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Man, now I'm upset. He kept that file. Oof, rude. He just hasn't been on my StreamYard to do it. Otherwise, he would have loaded that sucker up. Lady Awesome said, oh, snap. Just got an alert for a Bigfoot sighting in Colorado. I didn't click on the article, but it says it has a video. Oh, it was an alert from TMZ in case anyone wants to click on the article. Oh, Bigfoot and aliens, huh? They really want to cover something up. I mean, I don't know. What could it be? The war? Good day, Shizzy Wiznut. He said, good M at talking trash and truth. I'm adopting the way that Lady Awesome says, good day, because I don't like to say morning anymore because it does kind of make me feel a little like on the meh side when I say it. And grand risings, not till there's one in my bed. I won't be saying that. Be afraid I use up all my chances. Can't summon it and then not use it. So I'll wait. But yes, good day, good sunrise, good sunlight, good take a breath in the morning and I don't know, kiss the sun, hello. I always feel like Willy Wonka when I say that. They're like, oh yeah, wake up children, the sun says hello. Or whatever the fuck he says, but it's just Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka. I still tilt my head to the side every time I sing that part. And I don't know why they don't do it. It's just something that I do. But yeah, so self-regulation it's a wonderful tool in your arsenal. You can win many, many fights by just not losing your shit. If you're calm and cool and collected, they got nothing. They got nothing to work with. It infuriates people like that are in my face, like in real life, if they're like going crazy and they're just like, and I just stare at them and I smile. Oh, I never know if they're going to take the swing then or if they're going to back up because they think I'm crazy. So, I mean, it could come off either way, but that's me controlling my reaction to them. That's me giving them something that they don't know what to do with. Because they're expecting violence meets violence. And it doesn't have to. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be vindictive. You don't have to be petty. Sometimes, is it the best way to go because it feels the best? Yeah, maybe. I don't have a problem going that way if it's deserved. If I'm leaving your ass alone, and you continue to come after me, anything I do in retaliation, that's on you, Bubba. But I choose not to engage. I choose not to go after people because I just, peace of mind is a wonderful thing. I would love that. I got enough issues going on. I don't need to borrow more. And I don't need manufactured fucking drama either. So it's like I control not so much my mouth, because I still curse like a sailor. But if I feel like jumping into something and saying something in defense of somebody or as a counterpoint, I don't always know. I'm like, is it really worth it? Somebody else is going to come along with this argument and they have a lot more energy than you right now. So let them do it. And then you can back them up. Because I don't want to be the one who's always jumping to the front of the line saying, no, 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 and having it out. Like I want other people to partake. I know who I am. And fortunately now I know what most of my triggers are. Are there still going to be some out there that I haven't encountered? Yeah, probably. But I can't beat them until I meet them. See what I did there? Anyway, Rabbit said my internet went down for about 15 minutes. Is it raining or something? What happened? I had horrible connection issues all freaking weekend. Even like for the show with Winning on Sunday night, I just sat there quiet and muted. And I couldn't even mute like the stream here because it was like crackling in my ear. I had to mute the mic, by hand. And I just sat there for most of it, like not saying anything. I felt so bad. And then Jacob came along and he jumped on. I was like, oh, good. Somebody to talk that's not me. Because I just couldn't. I just had no way of doing it. All my audio was screwed. And all I had to do was reboot because apparently I didn't reboot I said a month, but it was probably a lot longer than that, to be honest. I mean, I'm not good with computers and computers are not good with me. They don't get me at all. So rude. Anyway, like I said, there wasn't a lot I wanted to talk about self-regulation on, except that it's going to lead into Friday's discussion, which is toxic parenting. I really want to get into, like the nitty gritty of that. So I'll be doing a lot more research on that so I can really, point out to you the different kinds of abuse that you get from toxic parents. It's not just neglect. It's not just, slandering you. It's not just chipping away at your self-esteem. It's so many different things. And so many of them are so subtle that we don't even realize they happened. And next week, if things go according to plan for me, next week I will jump into Jean-Paul Paget and his levels of development and whether they're met, like trust, mistrust, and all that kind of stuff. Because I think he has a lot of very interesting things to say. And I think a lot of it rings true. When we don't establish ourselves in the proper order, the proper way, to a proper degree, then everything we build on top of that is built on shit. It's unstable. It can't stay by itself. Like nothing you build on that has autonomy, because it's all dependent on whether or not the ground is going to slip out from under it, because you didn't, or somebody didn't take the time to make sure that your foundation was rock fucking solid. So we're going to talk about that, because self-regulation actually has a lot to do with that. It's hard to self-regulate when you're missing developmental steps. It's hard to find a safe place when there's no trust to be had. Rabbit said, I had good connections. It was at the source company. Figures. You would think that these companies, when they screw up and you lose like power from them or you lose services, they'd give you a refund. I don't care if you give me a quarterback. Just show me that, you fucked up. And you said, I woke up yesterday and saw Redmond dropped a new freestyle. Sway had the answer. And I laughed for about 10 minutes. My son knocked Jesus' head off my statue. Ooh, it was already broken because of my daughter, and we had just set his head back on him. Oh, Lord. That's like getting to the bottom of a stairwell that has like that big bowl column at the end of it. And you like put your hand on the thing and the whole thing shakes and you feel like the rebar inside. Terrible. My daughter says, oh, you're going to hell. And I went along with it just for a few minutes. Inumers, is that toxic parenting? Yeah, that's toxic parenting. No, it's not. No. Because you're not doing anything to hurt them. Shit happens. Yeah. You can't be in charge of everything all the time. But we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about toxic parenting on Friday. And I would really love it if you guys would show up with your stories and really like get in the conversation. Tell me what you think, toxic parenting looks like, and tell me what you think counters it, what we could do. What steps have you taken to undo years of damage that you might have, suffered and been a different parent? Yeah. And I want to hear about them all. I really do. And if you have any suggestions for other like pop-up streams, or whatever, leave them in the comments. Tell me what you want. I know Nick always says, oh, chat doesn't know what they want. That's why they're here. I tend to think that that's true with his kind of streams. But you already know that I'm going to get in the dirt with this stuff. I am not going to give up until I conquer all these things that are plaguing me. And you are going to come along with me for the ride, because it can help you too, even if you don't realize that. So until then, tonight we have Winning Realities, Unveiling Reality. It's, I want to say 8:00. I'm going to go and say 8:00 just to be certain. Sometimes it's 8:30. I don't know. I also don't know what he's talking about because, I don't remember yesterday. And I know I must have seen it like 50 freaking times, but I just, Well, you know what? Let me just find out. I hate when I'd say, "Oh yeah, winning's on," and I don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's like, "Oh, good, you're a great friend. It's great show." Winning Reality is on tonight. Do we not have any upcomings planned? Come on. The Crowd Calls the Shots Sunday. Tonight is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So he's got Unveiling Reality tonight. I just don't know what it is because he didn't put up. I'm sure he put up a short somewhere. Let me see. Let's see. Is this week? Can't be. I don't know. All right. So whenever, no, that's way old. Damn it. Yeah, because we did the moon landing. We did that on Rumble. Oh, I forget. I forget what today's is about. But join us. It's always a good time. We always have a fantastic time. He doesn't have it posted yet. Yeah. But the thing is, Rabbit, I know he told me, so it's going to drive me crazy until I remember it. But it is what it is. He's got a great week lined up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So join us tonight. I'll be in chat, just bullshitting with you guys while he's up there educating us. And then Thursday, tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Now, I don't have a morning show tomorrow, but I will be doing a show on Gary Lamb's network at 12 o'clock with Gary. I will probably stream it to my channel, but we'll be on his channel to start. And it is going to be just a talking thing back and forth where he basically comes up with something, pitches it to me, and sets me on fire so that I can be like, rah, rah, rah. And then he's just going to keep poking the bear until he gets every truth out of me he possibly can, because that's what Gary does. And we'll have a nice little discussion on how it connects with tomorrow night's Repairing History Together, where they talk about how, racism kills, but not in the way you think it does. It's a very interesting look that most people don't take. They don't look at that perspective. They don't see the point of view of the person, as we see it. So Winning and Gary are going to be talking about that tomorrow night. And it's really actually very interesting. It's a whole dynamic where now instead of groups like actually being guilty of something and having to, pay a penalty for it, you got these social justice people out there who they're like, no, you can't. They've done nothing wrong. But they're throwing their own people under the bus because they want to be seen getting the pat on the back of taking care of somebody else. We're also going to talk about education, I believe. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow afternoon at 12 with Gary toward the end of the show. And then that'll lead into nighttime when you get to hear the gentleman's point of view, as well as Thomas Souls. Then Friday, I have a show in the morning, 8 o'clock. That's Toxic Parenting. Saturday is Winning Realities Saturday night. It's always a good time that night, always. And I'm not going to tell you who the guest is, but it's going to be so much fun. Oh my goodness, so much fun. I'm so excited for Saturday night. When he posts his short, you'll see. But until then, just know, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. I love it. And then we have, the watch party Sundays, me and Winning together, and we'll do that. And again, I know what it's supposed to be about, but it's escaping my memory right now because I kind of overloaded and I'm really tired now because I want to go lay down and take a little nap. So I'm going to end it here. So much coming up. Rabbit, thank you so much for posting links all the time. I love you. And let me tell you something. They laugh when we talk about like how I mod for Winning or whatever. And he's like, "You've gotten really good." I'm like, "Rabbit taught me really well." I was like, she taught me really well. Like I'm accountable. I'm stepping into some big old shoes over here. So I gotta do my job. Yeah, because I want you to be like, "Oh, I taught her. She's so good at that." Because I tell you, he keeps you hopping. He's always throwing shit out like, "Oh, can you post this? Can you post that?" I'm like, "Yeah, wait, just let me hop over there, hop back, hop over there, hop back." Now I know why you're Rabbit. They keep you hopping. It's ridiculous. I'm a cat. I'm more likely to scratch your eyes out than to hop over and go do your bidding. Well, that's a topic for another day. Because doing the bidding, yeah, I might just do that for the right person. And yeah, have a good one, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming by and for hanging out and just being chill because you guys make my mornings amazing. Rewatch crew, I love you all. There's so many of you. You always make it worthwhile. I get the views, I get the likes. Guys, leave me comments. There's been a long time since you guys left me comments. Just talk to me. It's okay. Just tell me things you have questions about. Tell me comments, ask me to do shows on different things. Just throw it all in the comments and let everybody see it. Have a conversation there, just like we would here. But in the meantime, I am going to go. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to reheat my taquitos since they're like ice because Katie made them 3 hours ago. And she was like, "Oh, I made you taquitos." I was like, I'm going live in like 2 minutes. I can't eat them now. She's like, "Oh, save them. Save them." All right, I'll reheat them. But anyway, I love you guys. Have a wonderful hump day. I will see you hopefully in Winning's chat tonight while he does his unveiling reality. I know he has a bunch of things he wants to say. He's very eager to have a conversation with you guys. And that's mainly, I think, what it's going to be about. But you'll see, there's always extra stuff. He's a good time. So I'll see you there. And tomorrow, please mark your calendar or whatever, Gary Lamb's network. I will be on his thing doing a show. He even made me this great intro that was like, oh my goodness. I had to ask him to redo it though, because it was just boobs, just a wall of boobs, all mine. And I was like, no. I was like, even I'm uncomfortable. Can we not? And so he went and fixed it because he's that kind of guy. So I thank him for that. That was very gentlemanly to do. It was very considerate and he didn't have to. But anyway, I love you guys. Let's see. What can we play? Jacob Peets, are you still here? If you are, I'll play it. If you're not, I'm still going to play it. So, all right, guys, after this, I'm going to be gone. Have a good one, and I will see you in the Funny Papers. Bye.
I deserve good things. I am entitled to my share of happiness. I refuse to beat myself up. I am an attractive person. I am fun to be with.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.